Thought I'd show you all a little bit of a normal day here in my greenhouse. When I say normal, this is what I would normally do if I wasn't recording a video. And here I am recording a video to show you that. I don't put up my backgrounds most of the time. I put up backgrounds per request by viewers that wanted to see a little more detail. Normally what I have is my wireless speaker playing some music. I like Spotify's brain food most of the time. It's just not much lyrics, it's mostly music, and it's I like relaxing to that. Normally I have a tree here in my kind of clean space. I've had a lot of comments, people saying I'm very clean and neat. I mean, this is my normal way that I work. It's just it's more comfortable for me. And then I have my messy area, like I have all my tools in a jumble right here. My wire caddy here on the side is full of about 6 sizes of wire right now. It can go up to 8. Right now I have also some cushioning material, which is airline tubing, and I use this a lot. It's just a clear airline tubing that you can find in pet stores, and it's cheap stuff, but it does cushion pretty well from the thin wire or really any wire that you need to do some cushioning, like a guy wire technique, which I use all the time. Like this little one has one that's cushioning the trunk as I pull it towards this stake here. And then sometimes I'm doing some detailed styling, sometimes I'm doing some mossing, repotting. Sometimes I'll be working on some pots in here, either cleaning them up or adding tie-in holes, a bunch of different stuff like that. Now that's throughout most of the year I do that. During the hot part of summer, it's too uncomfortable in here. This is almost completely clear of trees in the hot part of summer because it just bakes in here. I don't have great ventilation in this little greenhouse that I built. But yeah, so today I'm working on this larch group here, and it's a little different, as most things that I do are a little different. I don't consider it a forest. It's just a group of trees, and they're growing with these rocks around them, and actually the rocks, especially this one, hang out the edge of the pot. So it's not a normal planting, and this is actually just to kind of get it started in this direction. I have it wired and staked so I can get the upright motion back in there. They were leaning quite a bit out, but now they have that nice swoop that a lot of trees and nature on the hillside have. They start out at an angle and then kind of swoop up. So these are going to spend this year in this configuration, and next year I'll probably move them to a different pot that suits me a little bit better. This is a very much forward-facing composition right now. So I think about all that stuff while I'm in here. Think about plans of different things I'm going to do for the year. Like I said, this one I have a plan that doesn't go into effect until next year. I have a whole bunch of stuff up here that I've either already worked on and have plans for, or I'll show for videos specifically. I do a lot of different things here, but mostly it's bonsai related. It's been a really great place, this greenhouse, for me. And I don't know, maybe I'll just moss while I'm talking about this. I collect moss from around the yard. This is actually from my green roof, aka my house's roof, which is really needing to be replaced. So what I'm doing with this moss is I'm just kind of protecting the soil so that it doesn't fall off as this tree is growing for the year. Now I water during the year, and I use a watering wand because I have a lot of trees to water. And so if I spray this, a lot of this gravelly type of soil just kind of falls off. So I'm going to leave some of these root areas free of the moss, because I don't really want the moss to grow up the trunks, because it does that super easily. I actually just want the moss to keep the soil from washing away. This is one of the most common things that I do in here during repotting season, is clean up the soil and get it nice and pretty for the year. I'll reset some things like I did on this. I reset the trunks into place. And when I do that, I disturb the soil quite a bit. Sometimes there's some wires and other kind of messy looking things in there. And being the clean person that I am, I feel like I really have to go back in there and fix that up so it's more suited to my style. Other things that I like about this greenhouse is that I can run my heater, like you can see in the background down there, and it's so much more comfortable than being outside in the cold. It doesn't get very cold here in the Pacific Northwest, but it's cold enough that it makes it uncomfortable to work outside. Moss is actually a really handy bonsai surfacer. I don't know what you want to call it. It's not really a tool. It's just a thing that you can add to your bonsai, and it really changes the look of things. Like this is a big brown gray expanse of surface, and now adding this little bit of moss, it just it's changed the way that it looks into something that's a little more variable in color, just a little bit more interesting. So I'm doing this on a weekend, and I do a little bit of bonsai work nearly every day of the week, whether it be outside working with the actual trees, or I'll be on my computer editing videos. I do a lot of stuff on social media, interacting with people and providing what I hope is a fun experience related to bonsai where they can ask questions and learn. So if you're interested in that, look up Bonsai Echo on Instagram or on Facebook. I am much more active on Instagram than on Facebook. They each have their use, I suppose. One thing I really notice about Facebook is that there's a whole lot of political posts on there. To be honest, I like doing this. I like seeing this. This inspires me. Creating images, creating experiences, inspiring others to take action on their dreams. This is something that I am very passionate about doing for myself, and I hope that other people enjoy doing that too. So that's why I like to share what I do, is that I'm hoping to inspire people to really think about what's great in life, complain less, do more, create experiences for themselves and others, create opportunities to continue to do that. Bonsai is amazing for that, because as much as we plan for the future with it, it's still, you're in the moment with the tree. It's like meditation. Adding this moss, if I was just doing it, listening to music, would be super relaxing. So that's what bonsai can bring. If what you really enjoy is something that's creative, you're gonna really have an enriching experience with that. I gotta say, bonsai is probably the best thing that I've ever done as a hobby, and now that hobby is kind of allowing me to make a little bit of money doing that. Not enough money that I don't have to go to work though. I've actually been out of work for about 9 months now. I was working in the warehousing industry for quite a long time, longer than I've been doing bonsai. And the most recent place that I worked at actually moved the warehouse out of state. They moved to Indiana. I didn't want to move from the Pacific Northwest to Indiana. I love the Pacific Northwest. This is home to me. I did not grow up here, but this is definitely where I'm comfortable and what I consider home. Since I've been out of work for that time, I've had to try to figure out how to get by, how to do all that boring stuff like paying bills, and bonsai has helped me get through some of that. But in order to kind of get back on track and get a little bit of traction towards some of my goals, like improving my website, improving my offerings that I do sell sometimes, I am actually going to go back to work here. So I'll probably be talking a little bit more about what my schedule change looks like once I go back to work. It will still include plenty of bonsai. Bonsai is something that I used to do while I was working, and I made it work just fine. So I'm confident that I can continue to do it in a new role that I'll be taking here. I'm still committed to the one video a week YouTube schedule, and also I have at least one video a week on my website on bonsaiEcho.com on the Be Inspired channel. I talk about inspiring people, looking for myself to be inspired, how bonsai is that for me, and that's why I created that website and the channel. It's actually a membership channel where if you like what you see here on YouTube, you can go there and see more. A little bit different type stuff is on there. Some advanced things, some beginning things. Really, it's very similar to what I do on YouTube, but there are some things that I had on there and will continue to have that are exclusive to the website. This is part of what I'm trying to do to make bonsai something that I can sustain for a long time. Because even though it's not usually expensive, I haven't made it quite enough where I can pay all of the bills with it. So I'm hoping to get there, and I'm like I said, I have dreams, and I'm taking action on them by building that website. I would love it if you would check it out. There's a free trial for the Be Inspired channel right now. It's going to be there for a limited time, and it's almost that limited time is almost up right now. So get in there, give that 3-week free trial a go, and I hope to see you there. It's going to be a fun place, almost as fun as this greenhouse. This is something that I enjoy sharing with y'all, and I'll share a lot of other things. I'm looking behind the camera and seeing so many projects that I got going on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you a couple of ideas of trees that I'm thinking of working on. And in the comments, I'd love to hear which one you'd like to see me do more on the YouTube channel. Let me grab one. So there's one. This is a Shimpaku juniper group. And let's see if I have another one in here. Okay, here's a couple of ideas of things that I can do for the channel. This one is a Shimpaku juniper 2-piecer, and they're just kind of twisted up. I got these at a silent auction last year. They're kind of old for, I believe, their cuttings, and they have very nice and strong growth. My plan with these was to separate them and do something with them. They're really calling to be probably a semi-cascade or something along those lines. So that's option 1. Option 2 is doing some more creations like this, which is, if you've seen what I've done before, I've done some broken pot things. This is a broken pot with a rock, and then some Japanese maple seedlings that are in here, kind of put in a random fashion. If you'd like to see a little bit more of this sort of different creation, let me know. That's option number 2. Okay, here's a closer view of that wire spool caddy. You can see up close here, the wire just goes on the spool like normal and then has a hole to feed it through to keep it nice and handy. It's got a handle so I can carry it around if I need to. This was something that my dad built for me out of the goodness of his heart, and because he really enjoys building projects like this, which I must have picked up from him because I enjoy that sort of thing too. So this is made out of some nice strong plywood. The spools are on a like a rod, a metal rod, and everything is very overbuilt on this, so I'm never worried about anything breaking. It's aluminum wire, which is not that heavy, but with all of these spools together being about 1 kilogram a piece, this is actually pretty heavy to cart around, so I usually don't move it too much. I do most of my wiring here right where it's sitting. I have a couple of heaters in here. My bonsai pot area over here is it looks pretty sparse down low, but all my good stuff is up here on the upper shelf. Getting there, getting there. Ooh, it's bright today, isn't it? Yeah, so it's pretty bright here in the greenhouse right now. Sun's just come out, so Lots of stuff getting ready to sell, getting ready to work on. And there's a little view of this larch forest, larch group. It's a small larch group. It's not a large larch group. Yeah, I can't help being punny sometimes. Well, thank you for being with me today, seeing a little bit more of what I normally do in the greenhouse and hearing me blab on about why bonsai is so amazing and why I love doing it. If this video was interesting to you, I'm glad you were here, glad that you got to spend a little time with me going through my daily sort of thing that I do in the greenhouse. If it's not for you, I hope you do go find something that you really enjoy doing. I really am here to inspire people, and even if it's not inspiring them to continue to stay here and watch what I do, I hope that they see someone who has a dream, does something about it, and takes action on it. That's what I want for people. So I hope you go out there and do that. Thank you very much for being here for right now. Have fun, and thank you for watching.